Welcome back to our series on safety and preparedness. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, your Family and Consumer Science agent. January and February of 2021, we are talking about being prepared for emergencies, disasters, and just having our basic safety covered. So we talked last time about first aid kits. This time we're going to talk about what we call the in case of emergency notebook. Now, I've had some fantastic mentors that have helped, that have put this together, that have done this as a program, and I'm stealing their stuff. So I'm hoping to share that with you. Shannon Wooten recently retired from Chavez County. Leanne Mares, who currently serves as our Eastern District Director. And then I think I shared with you last time some of the publications we're highlighting within this series: Emergency Preparedness, Sheltering at Home, and Evacuation by Mr. Rick Griffith from San Juan County. If you would like a copy of these publications, you can link to them from our website, or you can call our office. We'd be more than happy to send you a hard copy of that. Information that we cover in these videos is also included in our Family and Consumer Science newsletter. You can go online to our website, curryextension.nmsu.edu, click on Family Health and Wellness, Request Newsletter, and we would be happy to add you to the list to either receive that through an email, or we can actually send you a hard copy in the mail. We mail out about 300 or 260 of those every other month. So we'd be happy to add you to that list. Today we're talking about in case of emergency notebooks. This is something, especially for older adults or anyone with a medical condition, it's an important thing to have in your home with information gathered together that a first responder, a caregiver, another family member, if they had to come in and help you in the event of an emergency, could access important information to be able to help you in the best possible way. Now, there's several ways that you can put your book together. As always, I'm a big proponent of reusing things, gathering around what you have in the house. So if you have composition notebooks, maybe the kiddos didn't use all the pages for school, spiral notebooks, if you have a smaller notebook that you would like to use, or even just a standard 3-ring binder. And you can see this is just one that we had around the house. It's not in great shape. It's by far not perfect. You can also purchase these pretty inexpensively. But so the main thing is that you have a way to keep all of that information together should someone need to access it. Okay, another suggestion that I have for you, these are just plain old sheet protectors that you can put into your binder. They're great for pockets so that you can add information into here, slide it in. You don't have to punch holes in all of your papers and documents that you're going to put inside your book as well. You are going to have some secure information in here, so you want to store it in a place that's not readily accessible to just anyone that happens to come by or be around your house. But at the same time, someone could get to it if they needed to, and make sure that those people know where it is and how to find it. So be sure you think about that. That's the tricky piece of what you're going to do with this actual notebook. So as we look at it, okay, it's all going to be pretty simple stuff. This right here, little red packet, we get these through our Southwest Border Food Safety and Defense Center. It's actually put out through New Mexico Department of Ag. We have these at our office. If you would like to request one, we would be glad to mail you one or put them out where you could just swing by and pick it up, but you can see it's your family medical record. So it's a place that already has all of the blanks in it, and you can just go through and fill in the information. Okay, once that's done, we're going to have some additional things that go in our larger notebook, but you can pop it in that pocket. If you put a page protector in here, you can drop it down in there, and it's going to have all of the information on doctor visits, dental information, all of your prescriptions, everything for the people who live in your household. Okay, so there's a key thing. Remember, this book is for all of the members of your household. You, the kids, if you have an older adult that you're caring for that lives with you, all of those things are going to be parts and pieces that you want to include. Okay, this is another example. This has some basic emergency information. This you print out, fill out as cards that then can go with each individual person. You can put it in the kiddos' backpacks. It has all the information if you should have to evacuate, or if maybe they couldn't get home from some reason. A lot of these resources are available through Readygov, which is the government site that provides information related to disaster preparedness, specifically through FEMA. So that's a good place to look for information. Let's see if I can get this back in the pocket so we don't forget all about it. Okay, so for our notebook, we are going to have 4 basic sections of information. Again, like we talked with our first aid kits last time, you have all of this information. Chances are it's just spread around. If there's something you don't have, now's a good time to think, oh, that's important. I should have that. Or I should make sure my spouse knows where that is. I should make sure the kids can find that if they were the ones who had to go about it and get it. Okay, so your first section is going to be your personal information, and it's just like it sounds. Okay, I'm try to slide up just a little there for you, and hopefully the words come across in the video. But your personal information, names, birth dates, all of those things that are going to be important. Any other general information, the physical address, phone numbers for everybody in the family can all be here in this first section. Copies of things like Social Security cards, birth certificates, passports, those things that would be really hard to get replaced on short notice. But if you had a copy and something happened, you would be able then to access that through here. They wouldn't necessarily have to have your originals to do things. Hopefully your originals are kept in a fireproof box or somewhere secure for that, but you would have that information here in your book. Same thing, green cards, military information, military IDs, marriage certificates, things that if you ever needed to provide proof or to have first of kin, family member things, it would be important to have that here. Maybe it's divorce papers. Whatever your personal papers are that are very important to you can go into this book so that there would be access to those in the event of an emergency. And then if you did have to evacuate or leave your home for some reason, you grab this book and go, and you've got everything that you need in that situation. Okay, so same thing, your wills, living trusts, powers of attorney, anything like that, advance directives that you need to have could be included in this as well. Again, not necessarily the originals, but copies of everything would be available here. And that would be your personal information. The pages are stuck. Just a sec. Okay. So your second section, you're going to want to have account information, checking accounts, savings accounts. If you were to have to leave, maybe you don't have your wallet, you don't have your checkbook. Having all of your account numbers and information that you need so that you can access your funds would be a very important thing. Again, secure information. You're going to want to make sure this book is not just left out where anybody can access that information. It's more so that you would have it in the event of an emergency. So you're going to include, and if the kids have accounts that are separate, include those accounts as well. This should be a comprehensive listing of everything that would be handy that you might need. Credit cards, insurance cards, your IDs, your driver's license. And remember, you're going to probably need the front and the back copied of that so that you would have all of that information. If you have separate mailboxes, PO boxes, or bank deposit boxes, you would also want to have that in here. So everything that if for some reason you weren't the one handling your business, somebody could get to this and help you take care of everything that needed to be taken care of. Okay, and then this third section, which again, hugely important, particularly if you have any type of special medical needs. That's not 3, that's 4. Let's try again. There we go. So this is your medical information, all of your medical information that relates to how you would need to be taken care of, the medications you're taking, not just what it is, but the dosage. How much are you supposed to have or take? And then any special instructions, especially who the medication is for. You stick the label in there, you have the information, but who takes that? Is it for one of the kids? Is it for me? Make sure that you're specific about that. Your insurance information. Okay, again, we're going to copy those cards. We want to have that together with all of our medical information so that everything is there and together, what type you have and any account numbers for all of that insurance. And then allergies. If there's allergies or specific disorders or conditions that someone in your family has, they would be listed here. And then when there was an emergency, when something happened, they would know immediately, hey, this is an issue, this is a problem. Okay, it's also a good place to go ahead and list the contact information for your primary care so that they can get a hold of somebody who knows you and what you might need. Okay, and then your fourth section, you want to have any mortgage or billing information. The problem with disasters, emergencies, if you get sick, any of those things that come about is you never know for sure how long that's going to take, how long you might be out of your home, how long someone else might be caring for you. So having all of that information together in one place means that they're going to be better able to assist you. So you're going to want to make sure your mortgage information, if you're making house payments, if it's paid off, that all of that information is here together, what company it's with, what the account number is. You're going to want to make sure that you have any other pertinent monthly bills that need to be paid listed here. So that again, if someone's helping and trying to help take care of you, they can go here and make sure that all of your business is handled. Okay, and then finally, some pretty important stuff. If you have nothing else, make sure that you have emergency contacts and the information that might be needed with those different groups. You want to have this list, a copy in this book, and then posted somewhere in your home that's easy to access and get to. And some of the things you're going to want to include other family members, who is that in case of emergency person that you need to have them call, the sheriff, the police department, the fire department, the kennel that you use for your pets, your veterinarian if something were to come up and be an issue, the babysitter, your employer. What if they need to get a hold of where you work? Who would they contact for that? The kids' school, your accountant maybe, who handles some of this other business and would know, the banker, the doctor, the dentist, whoever else you see for your basic health care. We already mentioned that. Maybe your coworkers. Who do we call if we need to cancel or take care of business on a credit card? Having all of those things listed. A locksmith and the towing company. Places you may need to get a hold of. And then, of course, how to get in touch with that health insurance company. Post this list, save them in your cell phone if you use a cell phone. Have them in there and listed as what they are so that when you put in their name and then it says below it, hey, this is my doctor or this is the locksmith, so that you have those things listed appropriately if someone else were to have to access that, but so it's easy for you to quickly access what you need. Be sure that you just include anyone that might need to be notified if you're involved in an emergency. Okay, and so then finally, also include what we call the ICE number, capital I, capital C, capital E. And you put that in front of the name of the person you want contacted in case of an emergency in your cell phone. And then the first responders are going to use that to contact that family member or appropriate person. This is something that may take a while to put together. It's going to come together in bits and pieces because there's a lot of it. Again, the little red books we have available through the County Extension Office. We'd love to share those with you. So get in touch with us. Let us know if you have any additional questions. Be prepared. We want you to be safe. We can never plan for an emergency. We can never plan for a disaster, but we can be ready in the best possible way if something is to happen. Thank you for joining us. We will see you back here next week as we learn more about safety and being prepared. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Cooperative Extension Service. Thank you.